Good afternoon, boys and girls. I hope you're enjoying this kind of gloomy day out there. Miss Sylvan is freezing today for some reason. I cannot get warm, so I guess I'm glad I'm at home where I can be under a blanket and have my sweatshirt. Today we were learning about dairy farms. All right, a dairy farm is a special kind of farm for the cows. They raise cows for milk. So what animal is raised on a dairy farm? Cows. When do dairy farmers wake up? Right, they wake up when the sun comes up. So they wake up at sunrise. Right, dusk is when the sun sets and sunrise is when it comes up. Dusk was one of the things on our ice station a few times. So they wake up at sunrise when the sun first comes up. They're up very early in the morning. How often do dairy farmers milk their cows? Well, in our article it tells us they milk them twice a day. So it was 2 times. What else do dairy farmers do? Well, they do lots of other work. They make sure they have food, they clean up the cow's mess, and they take care of the rest of the farm. So our answer is feed the cows. Where does milk come from? The milk we drink comes from the cows on a dairy farm. Number 6 is what did you learn from dairy farms? So just write something, tell them what you learned. And number 7, draw a dairy farm. You could just draw a cow there. You might have a barn. It depends on how much you like to draw. For math, we had some addition and subtraction practice again. And the top is a pattern. We have 5 minus 4 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 minus 1 is 4. And 5 minus 0 is 5. Then over here we have the same exact answers, but the problems were different. We have 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 4 plus 1 is 5. Make sure you're paying attention to your signs so you know if you're adding or subtracting. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 5 minus 0 is 5. Then over here, they threw them all together and tried to confuse us. We had 4 minus 3 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 4 minus 1, Miss Sullivan wrote the wrong answer down. Look at that. It's 3. And 5 minus 4 is 1. See, we all make mistakes sometimes. Then we continued on with our shapes today. I did not trace my shapes because if I trace them with this pencil, you're not going to be able to see them very well. But you trace your shapes and then you just practice making some of them over here. Again, if you don't have a ruler, you can use the piece of another page that you might have, or you might have a book or something that you can lay there just to practice. And I want to go over tomorrow's before you get into cutting them and make a mess with them because you're not at school, so you don't have extra copies of them. If we were at school, they would be on cardstock and we would have extra copies because somebody always cuts in the wrong spot. It says to trace the squares. Right, I traced this one here for you because I don't want you to cut on those lines that are in there. All right, you want to cut only on the dotted lines when you cut it out. It should be all one piece. Do not cut any of those squares off of this. This will turn into a cube when you are done. Make sure again that you cut it all in one piece. If you want to trace the lines like it says, before you cut it out, you can, but don't cut that square that I traced or that line that's going across there. Cut it in one piece. And then we have our cylinder. It says to trace the circles and rectangle. Again, I drew some little lines right there showing you where not to cut off the cylinder because those circles will fall off. It should be in one piece. So if you start cutting here, cut up and around your circle and then stop when you get to where my line was and come down. Stop where my line is and cut out that circle. Stop where that is. And go up back to that line. Do not cut on those little lines that I drew there because your shape will fall apart. Okay, so be very, very careful cutting those tomorrow. And hopefully we don't get any more rain or storms today and that you have a wonderful night. I'll see you tomorrow.